Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of us spieling our thoughts and feelings on this week of Big Brother. It was kind of okay. Daniel thought it would make it a boring week, but I don't think it made it a boring week. He goes out just as oblivious as he's always been.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
Can't hear you,
Daniel. Yeah, I don't know. He tried.
David.
He tried.
What? You can't hear Jamie? I can hear Jamie fine.
There we go. My thing wasn't all the way.
She's
I'm
on
like, I can't hear anybody.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Would make a very fun
scheduled podcast shortly.
Very fun if I just can't hear you guys all night. I just see your mouth move and I can just say whatever I want.
Just reply with whatever.
What weird, bizarre thing.
Let's just have a boring season.
Yeah.
I'm loving Taylor more and more, and I'm so mad at myself for not having the balls to pick her as the winner the first week.
Yeah.
Because she's looking better and better.
Who did you pick again?
Nah, she's gone.
But don't you get to pick another number one when your number one is gone?
Well, yeah, but if you're the only one with your original number one still in.
Because I picked good.
Who'd you pick?
Michael. And
that's actually a really good pick at this
point.
According
to Daniel, he's winning the whole thing. I don't know. That's such a
Daniel put a big target upon him.
That's what he was trying to do. But how do you smartly spin a situation like that, right? So he's doing everything he can. You have to keep I feel like you have to keep your cool. Otherwise it makes it look like, hidden nerve, right? So you have to really, and that would be so hard there because your instinct would be to deflect, but no. And then if anybody brings it up, you just go like, he was just mad that I put him up and that he was going home. Like what's he gonna say? He's just vengeful.
I think people listen to it, and I think they're going to listen to it. Michael's got a big, huge, hairy target on his back. He's won.
Because he keeps winning things.
And 3 other competitions.
And the Mermaids one wasn't even close. He was trying not to win it, but he was so far ahead.
When you can't lose.
No, that was him.
You can't lose. Here's the thing. Yes, he has a huge target. Will they all get on board and be like, I feel like there's 1 or 2 players that will definitely be like, yeah, we've got to do something about this sooner than later. But I kind of feel like the rest are sort of like, we don't need to hurry with that yet. And it's going to bite him in the butt.
It depends on because everybody knows how hard out they're playing, right? Yeah. So if, let's say a Monty or a Joseph isn't really playing real hard, and he's like, look at him, he's playing a great game, he's winning all these competitions, he's going to win. And those guys know they haven't really been competing hard. They've been kind of flubbing it. Do you know what I mean? Then they can go like, yeah, whatever. He's still not beating me. If they think they still have, something to turn it up a little bit.
Sure. But you know what? I really do think that, I think Michael, I think maybe he practices some of these. You know what I mean? Like,
no doubt.
He's like got like a ninja warrior set up or something, like in his folks' backyard that he goes.
I don't know, but the freaking balance beam thing was like he was falling, but he was moving so fast he was staying underneath his fall.
He was so close to not having it.
Yeah.
Like 1 second away.
That maybe that really tall and lanky worked on that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy with my pick. I like Michael. I think he's a good guy, and I like his alliance with Brittany and Taylor.
Yeah,
that works for me.
I like that he holds no bar on a snarky goodbye message. So
that's good too, right?
Nobody's as evil so far as Taylor has been.
Yeah.
Well, she has been sending home people she didn't really like, but I thought it was really cute how she told Daniel tonight.
Taylor's one of those people that can say like 100 words with the raise of an eyebrow. So she's got that going for her.
Yeah. And she was like sharp about her comment, But the same thing, like Daniel said, she said, don't talk to me, or you won't have to talk to me until, finale night. And Daniel's like, she's right, and I'll talk to her.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah. Now I have got to say, I've got to throw a shout out. There was some bets about how this the final speech was going to go on Daniel's part, and there's a Twitter person out there, a viewer, who was certain that whatever it was going to be is that Paloma's name was going to get dropped. And points, Daniel, you knew Paloma for like 4 days, but yes, let us use her as a martyr to your game law. Why not? Why not? So, anyway, shout out.
But you know what?
Chris at Seabull 45, you got point.
I mean, good for him he hitched his horse to his wagon and he rode it all the way to going out the door. He did a waiver. Paloma and Nicole were it for him, apparently. Really they're gonna be in a throuple or something after this.
Paloma,
I'm not sure.
I don't get how she in such a short time she had so many people bamboozled.
Yeah, I think because she was so bamboozled herself that everything that came out of her mouth felt like the truth, because it really was her truth. I think.
Yes, okay.
We know somebody like that, don't we, Jim?
Right. Yes, absolutely. We all do. Yeah. So it was her truth, and then she told it, and they absolutely believed it, and afterwards could never even for a second play devil's advocate and go, but what if she was lying? Just what if? Should we have a plan B? Should we? It's like they couldn't even consider it at no point.
No. No.
They were right.
Well, okay. So here's the thing.
Can we kill? Go ahead, Jamie.
Well, the idea is, right, Daniel had this idea that maybe there's a way. Maybe he could, Giesling his way through this. No, not even close. I don't.
He was gonna spin it.
Yeah, I do not care how big of a fan you are and how many years you tried out.
You do not say you're Giesling.
Yeah, that you're name dropping all of the right names.
That is what I was gonna say.
But you cannot, you're teaching these other house guests to play this game, and you're out before jury. You want to know what? He's not Dan Giesling. He's like Frenchie.
Well, he isn't Frenchie. He isn't out first.
There is that. That's because he won.
That's because he was HOH first.
But,
yes.
So was Frenchie.
Thinking, I knew Dr. Will. I liked Dr. Will.
Yeah.
And this man was no Dr. Will.
Yeah.
No.
They thought they were, though. They thought they were getting all the camera time.
I'm just gonna say that I can't pick a winner from a mile away, because I had such high hopes for him and for Nicole, and it just sometimes you go, I really want these, there's certain people in the house that I really like, and God, if they would just work together and stop being on opposite sides, if they would just work together. And this is one of those cases where you're having the people you want to work together is not always great. It was not a good fit for, they got along great, but it destroyed their game because they both got tunnel vision on this, hate on this, hate on that, hate on this person. They're all stupid. One bunch of clowns. We've got this game figured out. Sometimes you need someone to be stop. Do you actually have this game figured out? And they didn't have that. They did not have that. But he tried. Tried to spin it.
It's amazing to me how clueless the other side of the house is. What are you eating?
I got a muffin.
She's got a muffin. Okay, I'm going to be 100%.
You guys made me eat way too much of that.
Chris, you're supposed to eat
this muffin gate business is out of control.
Okay, how much did you laugh, though? Sorry. Well, that was a lot of muffin. You guys were not calling me on it. Okay.
We were just let's see how far. How she gonna eat half of this muffin?
A McDonald's hamburger for 30 seconds.
That's why I had to really put it up in my face. Okay,
this is my dinner time. No, that's funny.
The muffin. The muffin. We saw it like you said we were going to see it. And
The cider.
the cider. You know what? I didn't have the cider, although I just have my iced tea, my normal iced tea. If I would have had a cider, man, that's my jam too. Anyway, so she was just as crazy as we thought she was about it. When she walked in, the HOH went, who ate the half?
Dude, okay. She was so toasted. Like, she just walked around, just buzzed off her.
Did you see how many times she went up and down them stairs with her hurt foot? And I'm thinking,
oh my God, that muffin.
How long
the
ago did she hurt her ankle? Like
a year ago. It was like a year ago.
And she was up and down those stairs
around with this cane, and yet in the OTEV competition, she's down the ramp and running around. I'm like,
yeah.
She made sure she was off the wall first tonight, though, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
I'm just saying.
Well, I guess
she got rid of her tinfoil hat.
Are we spoiler free, or can we do spoilers at this point?
About the HOH competition after what we saw. Okay, all right. Well, let's wait on that. Let's talk about what we see. That way, if anyone wants to dip out, they can.
Okay, cool.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, she was nuts, and
a little bit. Just a little bit.
And homeboy is my hero. Okay, because I think now I would try to eat all her food.
Right? The conversations between these two all week have been really funny too, because there's no secret of their, that they despise each other. Like, there's not. Like, they both know that they like hate each other, but like,
and the crazy thing is, you could literally
each other that they hate each other in like a friendly way. It's clear that they hate each other.
And they are perfect together, because you could go into the Jim Henson studio right now and make a Muppet of each one of them. And they could have their little bestie.
Oh, the Dan Muppet would be awesome.
The what Muppet?
The Dan Muppet with the hair, or not Dan?
No, not Dan.
Turner. The
Turner. The Turner Muppet.
Epic.
Yeah.
And Jasmine Muppet.
Yeah. Yeah, and you on what? As long as the Turner Muppet manages to make eye contact with the cameras.
I have some serious eyebrows as a man.
Come on.
But that gal, man, her eyebrows are like this big.
And here's the screwed up thing about that, that I was thinking about. That's what it looks like on TV. Okay? So imagine how dark it is in real life.
Well, I mean,
so they're walking around. So everyone's getting ready for the big live show every week, right? She's walking around looking like that, and they don't laugh.
But Chris,
come on.
They say everything's bigger on TV, and as a man, I take comfort in that.
So maybe they're like normal, like they're average large size eyebrows. In real life, I don't know. This is a frustrating little thing. I'm sitting there tonight, and I see her, like made up, got her hair done. I'm like, she can like clean up really pretty well. I mean, the eyebrows not my thing, but like she cleans up pretty well. And then she started talking. I was like, yeah, no, there it is.
There's just too much. You know what? I know why they cast her. She is a unique individual, and I mean that in the best way.
Because she's willing to come up with stupid lines and just say whatever.
Right. And that's good TV. I mean, it's kind of annoying. I don't know if I think she would drive me crazy if I was actually in the house with her, though. Because it would be a combination of her accent, her fake accent, not her real accent, guys. Not her word. Yeah, exactly. The fake one. So much so that they're making fun of her tonight.
Yeah. Yes. Checkman calls it her diary room accent.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yep. She's playing a character, right? So it's a combination of that plus just how freaking whiny she is about her foot, because Kyle did not touch her foot. He did not, guys. No, he did not. And Kyle's that nice guy who felt so bad about it.
He brought back an entire Antarctic full.
It was. I was going to say a hefty bag full. Just so. And then, what did she do? She immediately was like, I don't know if I need that much ice. Like, he couldn't even do that right.
Girl,
Lady,
I'm telling you,
listen.
this has been her demands to Nicole all week was like
I would not be sitting with her. Those guys were sitting there and they're talking and entertaining her.
like,
I wouldn't have been that. I wouldn't have been by her because it's like
No.
she's either going to ask you to do something for her or somehow shift the attention back to herself.
If I was a contender on the show, I'd get her all the ice she wanted because I'd want her sitting next to me. Because as long as she was there, I'm winning.
You know what? That's true. If she's needing something, you might be the first. I mean, just because you got to get away from her. Sure, I'll go get that for you.
Yep.
Do you need me to make you a 7-course meal? Because I can do that too. See you later. Bye.
Yep. Nope. You make it totally. Yeah.
Good point, David. Good point.
So you just do whatever you need to do because
the floaters, you got to take the floaters with you.
The
easy one. And Indy is an incredible floater at this point.
Indy is also really great at just like complaining about anything and everything and then not contributing to anything.
Nothing.
And how is Terrence so clueless and why does that break my heart so much?
DJ Showtime. But you know what? There's no show.
Win, but it's like he has no idea.
The show is happening in his head. And the way he says to Daniel, like, I am not letting you go. Don't worry, you're not going home this week. I'm not going to let it happen. It's like,
the man is like a moron who walks into the middle of the movie and starts asking people what's going on. I mean, it's just...
Except he's not asking what's going on. At least they would know. He thinks he knows.
I love the guy. I want him to be like a contender, but he's not.
It's because parents can't pick a side, and he's not playing the floater game where it's like you get a little info here and then you get a little info there and then you trade it where you need it and cash your checks that way.
Because I think he could
literally just can't stick with a group.
But he could totally be the guy everybody likes. He could be the Enzo.
He could until today. He got into some hefty arguments today. So
Terrence did?
Yeah.
They didn't show it. Or did you see
it on the feed? We'll probably see it next week.
Yeah, on feeds. I don't know that they'll show it on the thing.
It was it was because he did not want Daniel to go. And so you go like, why? Daniel couldn't pivot away from Nicole, so he had to go because he couldn't shut his mouth when everyone left. Because boy, was he being a giant jerk.
Yeah, he did not like that, but he has been in a mood because there was a conversation that took place earlier where they were talking about a couple different celebrities, and then it kind of led into like domestic abuse situations. And he was saying that basically if you are a spouse in a domestic abuse situation, it's if you don't leave, it's your fault. Like,
cool.
They like you have it coming to you if you stay in it, kind of thing. I don't think he meant it quite so brutally, but
Terrence said this.
Terrence said this, and Brittany has before her husband had a abusive relationship, so she kept trying to like explain to him.
You don't understand. You don't understand.
And he wouldn't back down. Like he was dying up on that hill. So he made a few enemies in the house today, which is really unfortunate. Not that Terrence's name has come up plenty of times. It's not like they were like, my guy Terrence is coming with me to the end. That was never.
It doesn't matter though. Again, another guy. There's 3 people you'd want to take to the end. The master strategy. The master strategy right now is to align with Jasmine, Indy, and Terrence and take them with you.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter who you are, you're winning.
But unfortunately, none of them win anything.
No.
Like anything. And you have to have somebody that can at least win things, or it doesn't matter. It's all for naught.
Can we just change the subject a little bit? Does cider truly cause twerking?
She looked like she had this much. Is she like 12?
She is pretty tiny. She is pretty tiny.
I don't know. She was working it a little bit, but...
They were telling her, you got to get down lower. You got to get down lower.
Wait, who was telling her that? These girls are all lightweights. I'm just saying that they're not. It's not like they're getting a lot of booze.
Half a cider and she's like twerking.
But who told her she had to get down lower? Who was that?
Oh, I think it was Indy.
It
was Indy or it was Taylor.
I mean, Indy is Brazilian, and they have good rhythm. They're good dancers.
So maybe no guy telling her to get down on it.
No. I knew it was a girl, but it sounded like somebody who knew what they were talking about. Is what I was saying.
Yeah. But then there's Joseph. Then there's No, you don't want to do that.
But they weren't figuring out that she was drunk.
And who was it? The one dude who goes, Alyssa, America's watching. America.
They knew.
You know who was watching?
Straight up knew.
You know who was watching? Knew. Kyle's mom. Kyle's mom was watching.
And every red-blooded dude in the history of the world. Because it was cute.
Yep.
But Kyle's mom, not a fan.
Well,
we don't know. The people who edited Kyle's mom's video.
No, but on Kyle's mom on her real Twitter, she was uncertain. She didn't bash her by any means. She just was because
she's really gonna wait till she talks to him.
But also, okay, yes, given the conservative nature of their faith and what have you, sure. But then also, I think mom has a pretty good idea of what her son is and is not capable of. And I think that she knows that being that distracted in the house with the showmance, he's not winning.
It's not
I think she's pretty certain that, she's bad news for his game.
I think he knows that too, and he's just fine with it.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
If
this girl's going for me, I don't even care.
He is 100% the guy that would get voted out because of his showmance and say, it doesn't matter because I still won this game because I have her.
She is the person who looks at herself in the mirror when she's standing there by herself and says out loud, he's 30 years old. He lives with his parents. And then just stares, this dead stare into the mirror.
He's that old?
Yes.
He looks like he's 22.
Wow, that's some good genes because he looks way younger.
He looks like he's 22, but he acts like he's 14. And so it's a little bit.
Sometimes a lot of that's exposure.
33 next week, and look at this.
Right?
It's a mess.
It's that Florida sun.
It's youthfulness. Jar it up. Sell it to the masses.
I did not realize he was that that old. I thought he was much younger. Okay,
I have a sensitive topic to bring up. Do we want to do that now or later?
Do it whenever, man. Let's do it.
This is, and I want to be real delicate about it because it's an interesting thing. Is Kyle was getting beat up on the Twitterverse earlier this week because he somehow convinced himself there was a cookout, like a cookout type alliance.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And people were saying, well, now you're targeting people of color. And
that's a tough one, right? Because
let me just finish.
We knew that was going to be a risk, that somebody was going to get paranoid about it happening again.
Yeah.
Just logically, because
people
can see with their own
and
eyes.
it was the very last season, so it's right in everybody's head.
But
you know what I mean?
If last season, when the cookout had their alliance, had it leaked, had it been out there, would the rest of the players targeting those individuals have been okay?
Like, would they have gotten backlash?
You know what I'm saying? In other words, would they just have had to let it happen because you can't target the people that are targeting you?
See, listen.
And I know, and I'm saying this. I'm saying this is a very delicate topic.
Yeah,
it's stupid though. It's like it's a game, and if you're trying to win the game, you have to look at it from all the angles.
And of course, from that aspect, what Kyle was saying is fine. If you really thought there was this alliance out there, of course you would vote the people in the alliance out.
Okay, who was he telling it to? Was he talking?
Michael.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're talking and they're just strategizing. They're just two guys who know the game and are fans and are thinking, are we considering every facet that could be happening right now? And you know what? Good for Kyle for actually thinking that could be a different, because Terrence ain't thinking anything's possible. You know what I'm saying?
But Kyle
he's not saying we gotta get him out.
But wait,
he was accused of racism for it, Chrissy.
This is why.
I think that's not fair.
Okay, but this is where that idea shifts from playing out logical possibilities. he wasn't just saying there's a possibility that there was an alliance with people of color in the house. He was convinced there was. And then he articulated that they needed to make an all-white alliance.
Oh,
to take out that alliance.
Damn it, you guys do this to me every time. I take one side and then I get the other info and then I go, okay.
And that's where it gets a little shifty and people are like, okay, wait, what? Like, hold on, what
okay, that's disappointing. What are you saying? I think it's one of those.
This is where that brought in something actually that was not that any of that was great, but here is something that was good that came from it. Is that Michael was sitting there listening to this and he didn't say much. He was like, okay, doing this. And there were some people that were pretty upset about the fact that he didn't call that out right away. And they said, and I get it, but I had a little faith in Michael that he was not thinking the same way.
Right.
And it wasn't long after that he had talked to Brittany about this, and they planted that this is when the whole we got to get Monty out thing that we saw the other day.
Right.
That's when this whole thing started, because he started letting these seeds be planted with the other people in the house that Kyle was convinced were aligned, that they needed to take out Monty so that it would disprove to Kyle, so that Kyle could be shown that he was barking up the wrong tree.
But was he explaining that to them, or was he just trying to get them to get Monty out?
No. He was just like, what do you think about, they're saying, well, what about Monty? And he's like, yeah, like he's a big threat. You're right. And one by one, these people that Kyle listed off were saying, yeah, let's get rid of Monty. And then he goes to Brittany. He's like, see, I knew it. I knew he was wrong. I knew this was wrong.
Oh, he was just testing it.
And then he was able to use that to say to Kyle, you are wrong.
And then did Kyle believe him?
Yeah, he really did.
It kind of died. But it left me with the question is, if there truly was, if people would have sniffed out the cookout last year, which they didn't, and the cookout was masterful in the way they did it, and we don't have to rehash that. But if they just sniffed that out, would the remaining people, if they would have aligned, would they be out of line for doing that?
I don't know. I think it really depends on how the lines were set to begin with, because how somebody presents a problem and how they manage a problem,
but
it can be done in a very different
Michael's a lawyer, so right? Isn't he a lawyer? So good on him. Well, no, but I mean, he's studied. Right. So the idea that he could kind of he handled it really well. Right. If that's the case. He gets valuable knowledge without blowing it up more.
Right. And the cookout was able to start, the cookout helped change the way that these games can be played and should be played. But yes, of course, with the new ventures, does it open up opportunities for unhealthy attitudes or personal growth checks?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is the alternative to Cookout Alliance is what you're saying. It's an all-white alliance, and that's not good. But
but you know what? The argument can be made that there's been a lot of all-white alliances.
The only people you can align with, because everyone else is in the other alliance. What do you do?
Right.
Well, I mean,
where Kyle was missing the boat is that he has got people in his own alliance that he was including
I understand
in that
Kyle
alliance.
was wrong. It started me down this rabbit hole of thinking this could be like the dark side.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. With every new opportunity, we open up another door where something can go to hell.
Yeah, that's
how are you going to navigate that going forward? I think it's important that.
I mean, we kind of had that with the four guys a couple years ago with what's his name, the one that won. They were kind of all stuck on each other, weren't they? And they weren't letting anybody in. So were they being sexist and racist?
These are as humans, in a competition especially, we're going to create alliances, and for whatever purposes those alliances are made, we're always going to have a shifty eye on everybody else.
And you should
Yeah.
be looking at everybody.
When you include like social issues and stigma, this is part of why watching these types of shows is so interesting and has been so successful for so many years, is because there's always another social factor to include into the game. And how the hell do you manage that? Like, how do you manage that and come out clean and smarter and better for the experience? It's hard to do. We like to watch people like go into dumpster fires all the time.
And now these shows have like 20 plus years, right? So you can really see how, as a society, we've changed as well, because it's kind of reflected in some of the attitudes within these cats. So it is fascinating.
Just Julie Chen's face has changed like 30 times. Endlessly changing.
And I have thoughts on the pink, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
And by pink, I mean her outfit. Dudes, get your thoughts out of the gutter. That is not what I meant.
JP, be good.
JP, I know what you were thinking.
It all started.
Okay.
It all started.
No, I was going to say that. No, go ahead.
You know what my favorite part of the show this week?
What do
you know my do you know what my favorite part of this week was?
What's that?
You've got the Lay's. Can I tell you something? I'm so upset. I literally have a bag sitting in the other room because I was like, I'm gonna bring these on tonight, and then I forgot.
Listen. We should have.
We didn't have them.
We should have all had them and been eating them as the show started. Damn it!
And I'm a big Lay's guy coming from Chicago. I mean, that's what we ate.
Okay, but it made me really love Taylor more. It's hilarious because now they're not even ripping on it. She was doing it again tonight before.
When she like threw the bag when she's getting ready for her HO.
It's like. It must be her. It must be how she deals with stress a little bit.
Yeah, how old is she? Does anybody know?
I'm not sure. Honestly,
is she like 24, 25, or is she older?
Well, if we thought Kyle was 22 and he's 30.
All I'm saying is I would love to live in a world where I could eat a bag of chips every day and look like her.
Well, they bring you.
Oh my God, right? Yeah.
Do they just? She takes a bag and does production just sneak back in the pantry and put another bag there? Like, what is going on?
Because it's entertaining. Lay's is like just right.
But it's so hilarious because every single time, and super smart too, because she's keeping her mouth busy and she's just watching everybody, and she doesn't have to make comments.
So funny when like that.
And then she can invite. She can ask them if they want some too. That's like sharing.
That whole
drama
she should have
some French onion dip.
Well, she thought like
French onion dip wouldn't hurt anybody.
That's pretty good stuff. Yeah, Daniel, like you know, when Nicole and Daniel had that huge blow up with her, I loved her thing. He was all like, "You just need to cut it out or whatever." And
you need to stop with that. And she was like, "Yeah, the Lay's," because clearly at that point it had already been pointed out.
No,
that freaking yellow bag. And you know what? She's damn genius too, because she never has the bag like this. It is always like that.
Well, no, you know that Lay's is paying for that.
Yeah,
that's some pageant pizzazz, is what that is. You know what? Here's another thing that I really love about her chip disguise is because she can always like hide the facial expressions, and like I wonder how many times like a crunch of a chip is like cussing somebody out, you know?
It's how is she eating the chip?
I like it.
Yeah. Is she is that like a calm, centered, chip crunch? No, she's ticked. Listen to it. Yep.
I like it.
I did notice something interesting about her is I think we could all agree the gal's like a 9 or a 9 3/4, right? She's a good looking.
She's pretty.
Right? Yeah, right? She's pretty.
But if shot from the left rear with her mouth open, she looked oddly like this.
Oh,
it was
I was going to say
flattering shot of her the entire thing. I'm like, look, a bad shot of Taylor. Is it even possible?
Is it possible? You found one.
But there was
shot
one.
of me.
And I went, oh, look at that.
Hey, you know what though? What's not a bad shot, like I said before, is the that eyebrow action. I wish so much. Like, I have really stupid facial expressions that I could throw out at any given time that mean any number of things, but like, it's just an eyebrow raise.
No. The people who know you know what you're saying.
But Jamie, don't you wish that like
that it was International Cat Day?
Taylor would just take Jasmine like in the Breakfast Club and give her a makeover and take her eyebrows and make them.
No. God,
I know.
no.
I did that to trigger you. I'm teasing.
God, no! Don't do it. Look what arrived, Kirsty.
I literally stopped by the convenience store on the way home and bought myself a muffin and a bag of Lay's.
I have no fucking.
I really hope that the person. I really hope that the person at the convenience store was like,
she's gonna have the best night.
She's watching.
She's got plans. Yeah.
So
she just needs a little alone time with her Lay's.
Lay's. Now, I think it's really important that we talk about. There's two key players that we don't talk about a whole lot. I think we need to.
Joseph?
One of those players is Joseph.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I know he's not getting a lot of airtime because we have to fill it with this
the ridiculousness.
Kyle, Alyssa stuff that I don't understand it, because these two are like connected at the face all the time, but CBS is playing it like, oh, we might not work out together. Ugh. Whatever. But
they're in it for the long haul is what you're saying.
Joseph, as much as I love Michael and think he's playing an awesome game, his competition wins are, they're getting dangerous because they're really starting to paint that target.
Yeah.
But Joseph's like gets along with everybody.
Yeah.
He's the nicest guy. He's good for a laugh.
He's seen when the writing's been on the wall, like he's paying attention.
Yeah. Joseph is playing a game, guys, and I don't know about this week, but I think in the next 2 weeks we're going to see a lot more with him.
You know who Joseph is? Joseph is Xavier.
He could very well be
very quiet, and he's laying back, and all of a sudden he's going to go on this challenge.
Maybe, yeah. I think that's why Michael won't worry him, because he'll think, oh, he can be more of a shield,
And he doesn't need to win, just like Xavier. When Xavier did not have to win, he just laid back and let other people win, and then when he needed to win, he won like 6 in a row, right?
Yep.
Another thing that he has in common with Xavier is that Xavier had Alyssa. And I think they had a little bit of like a closer relationship than just being an alliance, but they didn't let it do anything to ruin their trajectory going going forward.
That came back to bite him in the butt, though, and on the challenge.
It sure did.
Yeah.
But Joseph and Taylor are in a very similar situation where they both openly flirt with each other all the time, admit that they're flirting with each other, but then also both go, I'm not letting you in my game, and they mean it. Like, they are able to take a step back.
Because they're both smart.
Right. Yeah. So that's
you know what?
Who's the other, Jamie?
Turner. Turner is just, as long as he can stay out of trouble, because Turner likes a little mischief.
I love it.
And that
I thought I was going to hate him, and he's one of my favorite people.
See, I thought I was going to love him, and then there was that little wobble where we thought he was going to be being mean to Taylor right at the beginning of the season. And then he turned it around, and he totally redeemed himself. And I'm like, oh, I knew I was going to like him. So don't forget the rug connection. Oh, no.
Oh, where'd he go? So here's one of the things that
he's going to go buy one of Taylor's rugs or Turner's rugs.
He's going to be right back with a new rug and a bag of chips.
I'm really glad.
Turner has, he knows he's on television, and what I love about this is, okay, Jasmine, she's one example. She knows she's on television, so anytime the camera's on her, she It's campy and weird, right? But
Yeah, really.
Turner knows he's on television, so he looks at the camera because he's like the Jim Alpert, right? Like he's like, I
yes.
know that you're seeing this, and I'm letting you know that I'm seeing this, and the joke we're
He's
sharing.
like, jeez.
Did you catch this? But my very favorite, besides Muffingate and all that, my favorite Turner thing is this last week between the veto speeches and the nomination speeches. Like,
Oh, he's back. Yo, all better?
It's like magic.
Yay!
Did you all turn me in? My internet's fine. I had to pee.
Oh no, we didn't. We didn't.
We figured you were going to come back with one of Turner's rug and bag of chips.
Fine. That's fine. We gotta go and we gotta go.
We gotta do these things. No, I really enjoy it. I do hope he stays out of trouble though. Just for it's just he's fun to.
I mean, sort of lost interest in him as soon as I couldn't use Turner and Pooch anymore.
That was you rolling it for that.
That was like my claim to fame.
I think he's a good dude. And with Joseph, I'm pleasantly surprised. I like him way more than I thought. Do not judge a book by his cover.
Yeah, I like Alyssa more than I thought I would.
Like literally, Pooch was exactly how I thought he was going to be.
Yeah. Yep.
Joseph not. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought he was going to be like that too, but he's not. So
Alyssa's one of those gals who's attractive, but not overly so. But her personality makes her more attractive.
Oh, she just gets prettier the more. Yeah, the more she.
Yeah, the more you know her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
This is one thing that I do like about her is that she does not have Paloma.
Oh my god!
She's like she's a different person without that in her ear, you know. So.
No, and I think now, do you think she really likes, or you think it's just a show thing?
I think that she does like him, but I think if it was in the open, real world situation and not in the house, she wouldn't give him more than a week of her time and move on.
You think?
Yeah.
I felt like at the beginning, I felt like she was being the aggressor. Again, that was the editing. It seemed like she was. Yeah,
that was a cider.
We have an interesting.
Those were wine nights.
We should put that comment up on the screen because I'm not going to read it.
Oh, do you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Alyssa is a girl who is one
day hookup.
One day hookup.
Right,
but you know what? Here's the problem. So this
and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what she wants to do.
If that makes her happy, then yes.
That's
right?
fine.
But her little situationship, like she started to, like in this last week, kind of be a little bit more open about the fact that it was not a situationship, it was a relationship. It was an actual relationship, you know.
And probably that guy, she knows he broke up with her, right?
And Kyle felt bad about it for like a minute, I think, you know, because
I think they make a really cute couple. And I feel like they're kind of evenly naive, if that makes sense. Like on the same.
I'm going to lay this out. I do not think that either one of them are going to win any maturity awards this year.
No. That's why I say they're on each other's level.
But the same. He's 30.
The same way.
I thought he was like 21.
No, the best though is that when she's
makes sense at 21.
She's really like hearing stories about him and how he like lives with his mom, you know, and he's 30 and he does these like TikTok videos like shirtless and she's like her face, she's just like, oh my God. Like she's like, you can see it being like, what did I do?
But him living with his mom, though, you can always spin that to be like, well, you know, we were raised conservative, and that's just our culture. That's just our family.
If you're 30 and you're living with mom, and mom isn't sick, and you're taking care of her, that's a red flag.
It depends.
If mom is sick,
it depends. If you go to the Latin American world, they live with their parents until they get married. That's just kind of normal.
Dudes,
if?
Yeah, they do.
I'm just testing the level.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Yeah. Lots of them do.
Testing the levels, though. What if you're 30 years old and you live with your mom and she's not sick, but it's your house?
It ain't his house.
But what if it was? Is it still a red flag? Yeah, no. But what if it was? Is it still a red flag? Or is it a different red? Is it a purple flag?
No, I can see that. Like if his mom didn't have money,
it really depends.
To help her out.
It really depends. Yes, it really completely depends on the situation. If the situation is that he lives there, mom cooks and does his laundry and cleans his room, that's a red flag. If it's
situation,
the world is really crazy and expensive right now, and I got a lot of student debt, and so mom said I could stay here because she's got plenty of room. And this way, she doesn't have to be by herself, and or whatever the reason.
But and reality is, mom in that situation is going to cook and clean his room and do his laundry because that's what she's been doing for 25 years, and she does it on autopilot.
I take no issue with the living situation because everybody has different reasons. But it's the TikTok videoing.
That's the line for you?
Yeah, it's not just that they're doing TikTok videos.
I don't have TikTok.
Do TikTok videos. I don't care. It's shirtless dancing TikTok videos, and that's weird. That's a red flag.
Well, is there any other kind?
Are they funny?
I don't know much about the TikTok.
I mean,
are they funny?
They are.
That's what I'm saying. Does he think it's comedy? Because if he thinks it's comedy.
Here's the deal, though. If he thinks it's comedy and he thinks they're funny, that's even worse.
Is it? I think it's worse if he thinks he looks so good he's got to do TikTok videos because he can't keep it all to himself.
But you want to know why it's worrisome to me? It's because it's on par with somebody who does William Shatner impersonations. I'm like, it makes me a little uncomfortable. Like you do you do you.
You mean like William Shatner karaoke impersonations, like in Brooklyn, for instance? That could be fun.
Yes, like that.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's okay. It's all right.
I probably do, but I'm just going to plead the fifth, because that's really popular lately. Anyway.
So let's talk about Julie's outfit.
I was just being a dummy.
Okay.
I was just being dumb.
You can give your. I had one comment or one thought about it when I saw it. It was this wonderful retro-looking, like early '60s housewife kind of, or going to the sock hop kind of a situation. But then she had the Escalades on with it, and it needed to be more of a pump.
I agree. The shoes threw me. The shoes totally threw me. I was like, cute, because
it's a little full. You could have a little crinoline under there with a different color. Be kind of cute, right?
You know what? This is what it invoked in me. It made me have like a badass craving for a buttermint, like a wedding buttermint. I was like, I gotta make some.
I gotta Google buttermint. I have no idea what
you know what they are. They're little mints that are in the dishes with the nuts Listen, you grew up in the Midwest. You know what those are.
They're like pastel color.
Yeah,
they have
and they're like
the little white
pillow. They have like little pillows.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah, all right. The ones you put in your mouth, and now
they had a name.
Well, now you know. Oh, those good milk.
Wait, they're all gone since COVID. They're not out at the restaurants anymore.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
Julie's
okay, so that's
the buttermint industry is really taking it in the ass with COVID.
The buttermint industry is screwed.
Oops. Sorry, guys. Well, it was a good run. Anyway, so.
Oh, the woes.
Yeah. So that was what we thought about the dress. David, what did you think about the dress? Well, the outfit. So you're talking about tonight's outfit, or are you going to give us the?
No. I like the dress. I didn't love the color, and again, like last week, I felt like the dress might have been just a little young for her.
It is a little.
Okay, but what did it for me, and what threw me into the positive, was she did the long hair pulled to the one side.
Yeah, that was
cute. Let me tell you what, girls, guys like that.
It was very
because
cute.
it really. I was like, look at her.
Wait. What does the one ponytail to the side do?
She pulled her hair
no.
to one side.
Guys really like that. What does it do?
They just do. It's like mysterious.
I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is because it's not framing a face. It's presenting a face.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Right. I don't know. It's like from a guy's standpoint, it's like,
that's it. Next week, I'm having a side ponytail, y'all.
Chips in one hand, side pony in the other.
if Taylor did a side pony,
Love
they
it.
wouldn't even have to. They could just put that on. For
She
the whole
just
hour.
wins. She just wins immediately, right? Like they
Nothing
just.
else would have to happen.
According to David, she's already won. So.
Okay, so question, guys, what do you think of this new twist? Because we can't just have a game; we got to add more.
Okay, well,
Can we
have
talk about the spoilers now. Can we go to spoiler zone?
Well,
I think in 1 second we totally should.
We're almost there. We're almost there, David.
Just hold it. I want a chip now, and I have no chips.
So.
I'm going to drink my
Bestie Besties is over. Everyone's every man for themselves, but we're sitting in a really good position where will these guys start to feed on each other yet? Are they going to?
Well, the twist is going to change everything. It depends on how they get divided.
That's just it. What team are they getting divided into? Are they doing schoolyard picks? Does the HOH get to schoolyard pick somebody?
Because what if everybody from that alliance is all together? They have to pick each other off.
Right.
Well, how many people are left?
Okay.
You're at 10, right? Right, because
I pulled up the thing. Hold on. La, 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 la.
Jamie, you're supposed to know
dun, dun, dun. We need some thinking music.
Yep, we're on 10. I needed to make sure.
Okay, so 10 and they have 7. So it really doesn't matter unless all 3 of them, the outsiders, the not leftovers, are on one team, then they would have the majority.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
So they'd still have to win head of household.
Correct.
Turner and Jasmine have had a few conversations. I want to say I think they're leaning towards this honestly, that they're not going to immediately target each other. Like, I think that they both know that they have the other ones in their sights, but they're not going to immediately target each other.
Turner would be stupid to target Jasmine. She's no threat.
But you got to make her feel like she is.
Right. Exactly. So telling her that might be a genius thing to say, because you're kind of fluffing her up a little bit, making her feel good about herself. And
that's what I'm thinking too. And I wanted to say,
yes, I did. And also, not only trying to fluff her, but also trying to pacify her by going, yes, I'm not going to go after you. I'm going to do you a favor.
And you don't realize why you're talking about pacifiers is funny, but David gets it.
I almost did coke out the nose
because he's caught up on certain other.
That's not the way it's supposed to. It's not supposed to go out.
I'm just saying, if an 18-year-old came into my store and bought a pacifier, I'd call the police. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. Me too.
And if you know, you know.
And if you know, you know.
I don't know that one.
You're a hot season behind, baby.
You will someday.
Oh, got it.
Now
I know. Now David, I actually do know. Spoilers, thanks.
You do know that last week, Christy and I tallied the shout outs on your behalf. We decided we needed to tally these things.
It was bad.
Hate them.
Yeah.
Now, somebody was given birthdays tonight.
And they don't do them. By the way, Australia does not do them.
Yeah, right? I don't like them.
Here's the thing, guys. I think that somebody got in big trouble and that they were all told, because remember last week you had people that were 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Oh, and everybody.
One of them thanked the entire country. That's a lot of people.
An entire country. But this week, everybody was 1 or 2. And the worst offender was Taylor with 3.
But why can't they just write that into the rules and just say
they're supposed to get there's all sorts of rules that they're supposed to follow, and then if
I don't think this is a rule. I
like
heard that.
Rules are there to help us all. If we can play within the rules, we know what to expect. If they don't play by the rules, I don't like it.
We don't know who the people they're talking about are. We're never going to know.
We're never going to know.
Relevant TV.
I'm going to tell you, if they really cared, let's just say this, okay? Julie has a trip cord, does she not? She's always holding that little trip cord. She could just mute him like that. Just mute him.
Now,
do you think one day she'll go power hungry and do it?
Michael has a special signal with his boyfriend, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. And that's super. So he's got, whatever he does with his face or his, I don't know what it does. What does he do?
He kisses his ring.
Right. So they got their little signal that's the I love you, and that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can.
That's more romantic.
Me having to listen to you spout 10 names of people I'm never going to know or care about.
Right. I don't like that, but I'm going to tell you right now, if they're in there and either their significant other their mom or their dad, grandma, one of their kids has a birthday, I don't mind them saying happy birthday. Because they are missing out on things in their family. And I feel like that's the fair
way. If they did it like, Julie, I just got to say that this would have been my dad's 81st birthday, and it's on my mind tonight. I just want to say that. Yep. That my heart would go out to him. But
you're saying you want it more creative.
It's the you know.
It needs to mean something more.
Kim and Jason and Jennifer and they just say 9 names and they mean nothing.
Here's my biggest problem with the entire thing is that they're living in a house that literally has cameras on every single wall and have live feeds 24/7.
Right.
Talk
so
to the camera
like
Tiffany.
If the people
in the son all the time on camera.
Good point. If you're in the Big Brother house, you got picked to be on Big Brother. If your family's not excited enough to get them live feeds to hear it, they don't get to waste our time with it.
Are they getting coached on talking to the cameras? Because I noticed both Michael and now Kyle are talking to the cameras.
I think that it's been said that, you know what, like fans kind of like it if you kind of run through your plans with the camera once in a while. Nobody wants to watch Kyle talking to the camera.
Michael was ranting for like ever, and it was great.
Well, Terrence looked like he was doing it too with this whole, I'm not going to let him go.
Yeah. But
DJ
Kyle getting in front of that camera, in the morning and like in the evening talking always ends with him like crying, but it's not like, oh, I miss my family and I hope I'm doing no, it's so weird and random. And
well, is it from stress? Is it like he gets emotional because of the stress of what they're doing?
He's not like sleeping the best because Terrence is horrible at snoring. Like he's a horrible snorer. Plus, he's got the whole Alyssa thing.
There should be a snore room
in
a non-snore room.
A certain age, and a man of a certain age may or may not snore.
Bring your CPAP,
we're not going to judge.
No, snoring's okay. If but own up to it, and then go sleep somewhere where you're not bothering people. That's all.
That's hard to do in the Big Brother house.
It is, but you could try. You could try, and I don't know that they're trying.
Who was it that was keeping Chris Kattan up all night? Like who?
Himself?
Wasn't it Todd Bridges?
Was Todd the one that was snoring?
Who was this big
snoring? Yeah, like Todd was big and fat, and Todd is no longer fat.
He is down to like 163. He killed it, man.
Hollywood needs to put him back in the movies.
He's
got to put on that Teletubby outfit again and do a before and after.
Right? I know.
He did it on his own. He didn't get paid by Jenny Craig or nothing.
Right now, Todd Bridges, I know you're watching. I know you're listening. America wants to see the before and after in the Teletubby outfit. Yep. You got to do it, my brother.
You got to do it.
Show it off. Be proud. Be proud.
No, he is. He's definitely talking about it.
Okay, guys. I think we've hit all the notes. So I think we're going to go into spoilers. If you want to dip out. But we're going to go into the HOH and announce who won.
What do we know up till now?
Who won. I know 2 people who fell after Jasmine.
All right. Do we want to go in the order of how they fell? Because Jasmine's fall was ridiculous.
Right.
Because it was super fake and she already knew she was going to fall.
And
Brittany fell.
And she didn't hurt her foot when she fell. How is that possible when she fell down?
She fell on the other foot.
Anyway,
and Terrence fell, unsurprisingly. That's all I know.
Well, those would have been my first pair. I would have thought.
I could get more if you want, but
I don't know what the order was after that, but I can tell you who our HOH is.
All right, spoiler, get out if you don't want to know.
It's
really.
Yes. Taylor.
By the way, she is my pick. She is my new pick.
But wait a minute. So she wins HOH. What are they going to do? She's not going to be HOH for long if they're splitting the house.
She's going to be in charge of the schoolyard pick.
Maybe. All I know is that girl is going to get a basket of every flavor of Lay's that's out there. I just feel like
bacon flavors.
You know what I would love her to do is go, no, I just want the original.
I just want these ones.
Because that's what I would want. I don't want the barbecue or
the classics
sour cream and onion or whatever. No.
Nah, classics where it's at. She's right by that. So
will they? Okay, so this thing.
So they're going to have 2 separate groups.
Yeah.
That they don't. What they says like that for like a week, and they don't get.
Are they going to separate houses?
Well, that's what they made it sound like. No interaction.
This is something Australia would do. They would open a door, and all of a sudden, half the house would go in. Now you're in another house.
Yes, I think that's genius. I hope they do it like that, because then it's like they just disappear for a week and they don't see each other.
Okay. So you know that one room that they have, since they've remodeled, that one room that they have where they do the like. Sometimes they'll do
the room they have to crawl through and find the mystery room.
Like, it was like the
it's
VIP
upstairs, back and behind the HOH, right?
They do the bar sliding thing, that's a pretty large room. So I guess they could probably utilize that somehow.
But not to put 5 people in it and live for a week. And they'd have to come out. They'd have to come out to use the bathroom. They have to come out to use the kitchen. They have to come out to go in the backyard. I think
the HOH has now the old HOH room used to have another door entrance to it because that's where Pandora's box was.
Correct. It was in the back. You went to the one side. You turned to go to the bathroom, or you went like straight ahead, and it was that other room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's where Rachel got locked in there with Jesse.
Yes.
That was amazing.
I never liked Jesse. Still, I get that he's playing a character on purpose, but he's just not likable.
But something about Rachel getting locked in there being like, oh my God, the whole time was so good.
It's literally like, who's going to annoy who first, though? But anyway.
Yeah, this is a competition.
Talking about Rachel Riley?
Yeah.
Okay, there is no doubt who annoyed who first. Whoever was in the room with Rachel was annoyed first.
I'm thinking Jesse would annoy me real quick too.
And someday JP is going to get her to drop in on this podcast and be like,
"You are. We're not. We love her."
No, I love her too, but I'm just annoyed by her.
Girl, okay, I'm just
she's the right amount of crazy.
And I would have to tell her right to her face that you were.
She had family portraits done and posted them on Twitter. And where she had her family portraits done is a company that I work with. And I'm just saying, I was so super, super jealous that it wasn't my place.
Your store.
Because I would have lost it. So it's probably.
Don't they live in Chicago?
No, they're like in Alabama or something.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, they're going to have their own. They have a whole new reality series that they're doing on one of the other streaming channels. And
oh, wow.
The whole thing.
Might have to Google them later. Yeah, I think they have to have a bigger space. It would have to be like a mirror. Yeah. Oh, it'd be so cool if it was an absolute like mirror house, but just like you go across the backyard and it's on like the other side facing. That'd be so cool.
Now they do have the backyard, and then they have that balcony where they did like like Dr.
Will said hi one time.
Yeah,
the neighbor.
Time. Yeah. Yeah. What a pointless
new neighbor moving in.
Waste of Will.
Yeah, absolutely. But he got paid for that. So
apparently Monty has now stated that because they can finally play Big Brother because the festy bestie bullshit's over.
All right. Yeah, he didn't like
so see, there's a guy, he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the strong guys this year aren't dummies.
Here's one thing that Monty, it's both not great for him, but also great for him this last week that he found out how many people wanted to target him, because now he knows exactly who to go make friends with.
Mm-hmm. And he knows he's got to turn it on too.
The entire other side of the house, basically. But, yep.
There's going to be quite a few people that splitting it up like this is going to help their game, I think.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I hated on Survivor when they split into 3 tribes.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of splitting the Big Brother house for maybe 2 weeks. If they do it too long, it'll suck.
I think it's only like a week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so wait, will the other house
split them and then merged and then had the double eviction? That could be sweet.
Okay. If they split, does the other people do they get to have an HOH too?
She said no contact.
Or is she the HOH for both sides?
At this point, we don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Can you imagine?
Well, that was your last night answer. At this point, we don't know.
We don't know. Stay tuned.
But that would be a little crazy. It'd be a little crazy to see her.
More messages from our sponsors. Product placement.
What do you got? Stanley. Wow.
Good
trick.
That's one of those good
ones. It's a Stanley cup.
It's like a one of those cups that keep things cold longer than they should be.
Yeti.
Well, it's like a Yeti, only doesn't have a lid.
Okay.
I don't know. Keeps the Jack Daniels cold.
Awesome.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever works.
I'm saying.
So, okay, so we're going to have to wait and see what the heck this twist does to our groups.
God, I hope it's not a sucky twist because it seems like every year they come up with some silly gimmick.
It's going to be a sucky twist.
You think it's going to suck?
It's going to be a sucky twist.
I feel like okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say I'm going to like this.
You think so? I feel like history has taught me since season 16 I cannot trust a twist to be good.
You're right.
If the right people are split apart. Right. If the right people are split apart, it could keep a lot of people safe that we like so that they're not happen to go after each other.
I think that I'd wager at this point in time that if you were to split up the large alliance of the leftovers, I feel like they'd all still probably
stick together
and making the same decision, because it would be that whole like, I could do this right now, but I think it's safest for all of us if we just do this and then go after each other later. Like the big alliance.
The worst, there's 7 of them, and worst case scenario is that one team is all 5 of them and one other team is just 2 of them, right?
Which would be
that would kind of suck. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Well, unless see, if it was Australia, they would manipulate it to do exactly that.
Yeah,
that's what Australia does. It's shameless. They'd be like, and we split them, so the minority would have a chance.
With the
intention, right? With the intention. That's the difference. They say, we're doing this.
And they would say it right out.
They're like, we don't care. We just think it'll be funny. Ha ha. Cool.
Yeah. You remember this gal that this contestant used to date like 7 seasons ago? Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
It's episode 5. Right. I don't know why we're still introducing new people, but here she is.
Okay. Oh, the cast is not in stone. Got it. Okay.
We're just bringing in new ones.
It's in pencil instead.
No, next year you guys got to promise me we're doing Big Brother Australia. We have to.
When does it air? Usually?
I don't know. It was like.
Is it their summertime?
Well, it was like a month ago.
Yeah, that falls about right.
No, that doesn't. A month ago was summertime here.
Whatever.
It ended like a month ago.
It was like
okay. All right.
Ended.
No.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Now, okay. So they split.
Oh, I know.
Let's say we get 2 HOHs.
Okay, so what they
have that.
Okay, I think it'd be really super smart for whatever leftovers, because the odds that Kyle and Alyssa are on the same team, not awesome.
50-50.
If Big Brother knew what they were doing,
they split them.
Really
split them. Then, if you're the leftovers that's on the team,
would split them on purpose.
Exactly.
And then, if you're the leftovers that are on the team with Alyssa and Kyle's not there, you get rid of her.
Absolutely.
Right now.
And then when you merge back together, then Kyle's like salty and mad about it. And this is how you get the big alliance to separate itself.
Yeah.
I think the 7 are gonna stick for 2 more votes. Well, absent the twist, that's what I think would have happened.
Yeah. Yep.
I think they would have knocked out Indy, and they would have knocked out.
I think Terrence would have been the next to go. Yeah, I definitely think Terrence, and then probably Indy. And
then no one's gonna kick Jasmine out because they all want to take her to the end. So. That's what
the 7 all seem to
be. Somebody grabs Jasmine as a useful idiot so they could vote out somebody else in their own alliance. That's how
the smartest thing about this group of 7 is that all of them seem pretty smart. They're all kind of they're all kind of level-headed. They don't react too quick.
Smart, but okay.
Well, but you know what I mean? They're not reacting. Whereas some of the ones that are out the door already are the ones that were having these giant reactions to things in the house.
The biggest problem,
and they're gone.
The people that are out the door they thought they were running the show, and once they weren't, they did not know how to react to that.
But they were not reacting well when they thought they were running. They were so confident.
Okay, I'm not running the show. Let me figure out how it's running. They just lashed out.
Oh, they were like, "Hey, give me another shovel so I can dig doubly fast."
So
the smartest thing to do would be figure out the alliance, cozy up to it. And stay next to it and hope that you're the last one eaten.
I think that is a really important thing to look at because the only person that has been able to do that is Alyssa.
Yes.
because her social game is
But did
solid.
she know she was doing it? Did she do that knowing?
I mean, she had Kyle there. That whole thing is what edged her in. But
yeah.
But you look at the opposite sides of the house and just look at the personality types. And on one side of the house, you have people that seem like they're pretty easy to get along with, and they're, they can joke together and what have you. But then the other side of the house, just they kind of don't like other people. They're not people. And that's causing them more problems than anything. And like David said, when you find out, I mean, it's one thing when you realize all of the people in the house are against you. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow, no matter who you are.
Absolutely.
But if you find out that there's a large alliance and you're in their radar, stop what you're doing.
If you got to that point, you're already willfully blind.
That's just
Probably.
it. But like, seriously, if you know there's a large alliance that you're outnumbered by what, one person, maybe two people, like, hello, just play the game of people.
Right. Cozy up to it. Do the opposite of the cookout. Cozy up to it. Find a buddy. Stay there.
Yep.
Because they'll keep you around for a while.
There are
some. Hope the alligator eats someone else.
There are some great players in history that have been able to do that. Ian Terry is one with his first season. He was able to do that very thing. He knew he was the odd man out. He found where he was useful. He knew they wanted him out. Right? Yeah, find where you're useful. Yep.
Right, and then you stay there and you hope that at some point they look at you and go, we're going to use him for one of our numbers and we're going to cut this other person.
And I think what happened with Daniel is that I think Daniel tried to find where he was useful this week, but Daniel didn't recognize until he was outside of the house. It
was too late.
Yeah, he didn't recognize till he was outside the house that a very large portion to why things happened is because how we treated a certain person.
But yes, we didn't even discuss that.
He didn't get it.
No.
Yeah, so Julie tells him,
and he's like, words. But neither of them were "I'm sorry."
No, he's gonna have to check it out. He's gonna have to hear what was actually said, what the problem was, what happened, and say, "No, this is what happened."
And Julie's exit interviews have been really good because last week she told Nicole that Taylor had been praying for her on TV. Told her that, like, she's doing it in a way that, like, so how does that make you feel? And you should be ashamed.
Yep.
Especially being mean to someone who's going to pray for you.
Yeah, and that's not a good way to get on Julie's good side.
Right. And then now you got Daniel coming out tonight and her telling them again, this alliance got together that night, the night that and then you start to go, oh.
Just as much as telling him
I love it.
This alliance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You literally said you screwed up your game because you were being a big dummy jerk face.
And screwed up Nicole's game because had he not done that, those two wouldn't have been the targets. Yep. Those two would not have been the targets.
And that's what
at all.
Those two together just fed into each other's crap and never stepped out to go, that doesn't make sense. What are you telling me? We have to do the opposite of what they want us to do because they're totally, no, let's stop and look at this and see if they're really.
Monty says I shouldn't use it. I'm 100% using it. And Monty's like, then tonight, Monty was like, dude, I was being honest. I told you not to use it. Right. I knew what was going to happen. And he said exactly to them. They think he lied to them, but he said, I don't want to see Taylor go up again and not go home. Yep. Because he was telling them he knew that's what was going to happen. They couldn't see it.
And you know what? Daniel, like I cannot help but for a moment feel saddened for somebody who spent so many years trying to get into a show that he loves, getting this chance just to mess it up.
But there's other, because he applied that many. He auditioned.
But Frenchie is a great example of the same thing.
There's other people. There's other people this season that have been wanting in this long as well.
I just stopped caring though, like so much about it when I remember why his game got messed up, and it is because he was being an ass. Period. That's it. He was being mean. That's it.
And it makes for an interesting discussion about, or thought-provoking about when you get in the house, it's very important who you align with at the beginning.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Hard. That's really hard because like you don't know who somebody is at the beginning.
You're looking for someone to be because you don't want to be alone. Like poor Terrence, week 4, week 5, he's not got anybody. He's all on his own. Those are I always think like, what are these people? Do they not know that there are alliances and they ain't in one? That should worry them.
Nope, it should, but it doesn't worry Terrence because Terrence is just there and he doesn't know who
Terrence
he's aligned with.
Terrence could be there a long time because he's no threat to anyone.
Until he started opening his mouth this week. That's the thing.
Well, I didn't see any of that. I'm gonna have to go.
Somehow
go off of Twitter and find it.
Somehow he tried to blow up his own game because Daniel was that important.
Yeah, he was.
So what if he?
Okay, do you notice how wrong he was? It's like, I'm going to try to protect Daniel. I can't protect Daniel. I'm going to try to do this. It's like he's always on the wrong side of the house.
Every single thing he said was like the opposite of what was really going on. Every time.
Well, they had a little discussion
He's
today.
Like George Costanza. No matter what he says, he's wrong.
Yep. They had a little discussion today, he and Daniel, about things. And Daniel said that he was going to get up and leave, and he was just going to beeline for the door, which he did. And Terrence was like, man, I'm going to run to that door because I'm saying goodbye to you, and this whole thing. And it's like, Terrence, dude, it's cool that you like Daniel. It's cool that you're buddies with him. But, like, can we just not walk around like he's been wronged? He literally had the chance to keep him and his alliance safe, and he chose not to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
These people.
Because he thought he was so smart, right?
So smart.
He's so smart.
So smart. He wanted to be on he knew more about this show than anyone ever.
No, so much he had to take all of his knowledge and expertise out of his own body and his own brain, and he laid it out on the table. He probably cooked it in the muffins and like fed all of this nourishment of BB knowledge to his house guests and took off his half hat and said, adieu. I am leaving now. I've trained you as best as I can. Elvis has left the building. Not
they
Elvis
didn't even
has left the building.
And neither one of them made it to the jury. Womp womp.
Boo.
All right. So
well,
I'm officially going to change my thing to Team Taylor.
Okay.
Well, I think that's what we had it. But
and
see,
Jamie
I think
needs a new pick.
But I think that we picked 3 top 3s, right? And if our first one got axed out, then we had then what was our second? And I think Taylor was both of our seconds.
Taylor was my second. You had Monty and Taylor in no particular order, Jamie. So I'm going to assume.
Okay.
I have to go back and after Michael. I thought I had
Taylor and Terrence, and I said Kyle would be the worst player, so I'm clearly a moron.
I thought I had also picked Turner.
You had Daniel. So you've lost.
Oh, yes, I did.
Amira, and you lost Daniel.
Oh, dang, I forgot about Amira.
Oh,
all right, so Michael.
And I lost Nicole, I picked you. And you lost Nicole.
I wanted to pick Turner, though. I should have picked
And Kyle clearly isn't the worst player, so I'm a moron there. So
yeah. All right, cool. We're doing awesome.
Right, but I'm
doing great.
Now. I should have done that from the beginning. Like I did with Xavier, and I would have been the big brother whisperer.
You would have been rolling steady towards
the
winning line.
Them bragging rights would have been strong.
The queen of balls should be king.
All right, guys. Well, we're running a little long here. We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah,
people got things to do.
My
you know what?
Says our podcasts are way too long.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
I'm already getting yelled at by a 16-year-old.
Since you picked Taylor, and I mean, I'm with you on it, but you know what? I think it's more fun if we all have a different player. I'm going to go with Joseph.
Oh, okay.
I feel good about Joseph.
I thought Joseph, yeah. But not Turner, huh?
Joseph. But you
I love Turner, but I think Joseph.
So.
I think Joseph.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm writing it down.
Was Joseph in your 3?
No, Joseph was not in your 3. We just added it because she wanted to, and
I'm not going to win no matter what.
And there's no rules there.
Winning. I'm cursing them as I say their name out loud. Their game is falling apart right now.
Michael could be gone next week, by the way.
He could be.
That is my crackpot theory.
Well,
Jack Gladfelder. Wait. I want to say this. It is Jack Gladfelder's birthday, and in honor of that, I have a crackpot theory, and my crackpot theory is they're all going to gang up and kick Michael out next week.
If that happens, then I'm taking Turner. Okay.
I think that Mike will get picked to play by Big Brother's doing. He'll get picked to play, and he will win the veto and take himself off into freedom and make it one more week.
He's got those magical cats at home rooting for him.
Those 3 kitty cats.
I know. All right, guys. Well, we'll be here next Thursday again.
Okay.
Right? There's nothing disrupting next week. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Next Thursday, it's a 2-hour long episode.
Do we want to do
it's 2 hours after? Long, but she said there's leading to a double eviction. Is the double eviction on Thursday? Like this Thursday?
We got to go live after. We'll just make it right after.
But here's the thing. If it is a double eviction, we did talk about doing our double eviction a live watch. So we will be watching the double eviction live. You guys can join us.
Oh, okay. So we talk while it's happening?
Right.
Yes, real time.
We'll do some digging and confirm.
Okay.
I'll have to get a headset then or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you got on your head right now?
We'll go live.
I couldn't do it here because I don't have a TV.
You're going to have to bring it into your living room, man.
Technological difficulties. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Living room, America.
Figure it out. Yeah. All right, cool. If that's how we'll do it next week, we'll look at the scheduling and see. And so stay tuned.
Maybe we'll go live for the second hour.
The second half. There you go.
Yeah. And make sure that you are subscribed so you guys can get notifications of when we're in our podcast. Yeah. Get a ding ding.
Get a ding.
And by the way, I
not Kyle.
Jack's birthday. I do believe Jack is over 60 today.
No, he is just right there.
He's just right there.
If he turns 60 in 1 minute, he's over 60.
Don't do that to him. He doesn't deserve that.
60 years young.
He really deserves it.
Well, technically, he's completed 60. He is now working on the 61st, isn't he?
61st year, right? Correct.
Yep.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, well. He's had a great life.
He's doing great. He's doing good. Everything's going for him.
He has a new grandbaby.
He does.
Okay, let's wrap it up. No one cares.
Oh, we have to say goodnight. All right. Good night, guys. See you next week.
Bye, guys.